It's time once again for the Maple Grove City Report. I'm Dave Kaiser from Northwest Community Television. Coming up in the next half hour, a look back at the August 17th council meeting and a look ahead to some things happening in town. Stay with us. The Maple Grove City Report is coming up next. And thanks again for joining us on the Maple Grove City Report, joined by City Administrator Al Metz. Al, welcome again to the program.
Thank you, Dave.
Stacks of papers, full book of notes here. We actually have two meetings to tell folks about. There actually were two that happened on August 17th, and we'll get to that in a minute. But first, let's take a look around town. What's happening here as we head through mid-August into September?
Well, that didn't sound
Where
very
is time
good,
gone, right?
Well, the first thing is State Fair.
Yes.
My goodness, that's one of those things that seems like once the State Fair is here, everything's done, you know. But just want to mention that we are going to have shuttle service from our Arbor Lakes Transit Station to the State Fairgrounds. It's not during the week, but it's on the weekends. And so there will be, it's be August 29th and August 30, and then also September 5, 6, and 7, because 7 is a Labor Day weekend. So it's a slick way to go. It's just, I mean, you don't have to fight the traffic. You don't have to try to find a place to park. I think it's, let me just look at my notes here. $5, yes, $5 cash only. Not bad. And so for $5, let the driving to somebody else and the headaches to somebody else. So, but again, it's on the weekends, not during the week, and it's at our Arbor Lakes. And just the Arbor Lakes location. Just the Arbor Lakes, yes. Very good. So, all right, so if you have an opportunity, head to the fair that way. You bet. Just a few other things. Silver Creek on Main is the senior project that is open. They're going to have an official ribbon cutting and open house on Saturday, October 3rd at 11 o'clock. And so that'll be a great opportunity for people that, even if they're not interested in running a senior unit, but to tour the facility. It's excellent. I hear it's something to see inside. It is. It's just absolutely fabulous. So. Farmers Night Out was a big success. We had 168 registered neighborhoods. That's more than we had last year. Every year it seems to add speed. I don't know where we'll stand in the rankings. Last year we were third in the nation in our population class. So I'm thinking that we're going to rank fairly high. It's fun to go to those because everybody is upbeat and having a good time, and it's more socializing, right? And so, because I'm retiring, I was asked to come to a couple of neighborhoods of people I know, and so that was just a nice opportunity to get out and about. So excellent. And for National Night Out, obviously the police department puts in a lot of work. So thanks to those folks. Police department, fire department. Right. Oh yes, yeah. A lot of organizing that goes into that event. You bet. Special thanks to Todd Strigi and our police department. Todd is the main dude on National Night Out, and he takes it very seriously. He's very organized. He's extremely capable. So does a great job. All right, so get your party plan for next year. Already can start thinking about that. You bet, right. A couple other things. Farmers Market continues to do very well, as does the POP program, which is the Power of Produce. It's a program that's designed for kids between the ages of 5 and 12. They each get a $2 token, and that's every farmer's market, not just one time. Sure. And so they can spend that as, you know, however they want with the various vendors that are at the market. And that's just been super successful. In fact, I think we had a very nice write-up in the Minneapolis Star-Tribune about how popular it is. So it's surprising it's the way it's taken off. You know, we knew it would be a good thing, but the parents love it, kids love it, yeah, so it's just a great opportunity. Yeah, I've had a chance to be out there a few times, and you see all the families running up to the booth to get that token, so they're very interested. On the other end of the spectrum as well, we found out that
the farmers market in September is going to call it Seniors September. So
Thinking of me.
Al's ready to get in line right away
Thinking
for
of me,
this.
yes.
But some special music, some recipes for
Right.
seniors, some chefs out there as well, and some other goodies. So
Oh, yes.
if you're a senior, make sure you stop by the market in the month of September.
And the Power Produce program ends through October 1st.
Okay,
So,
good.
just so everybody's aware of that. The outside market ends October 22, and then on November 5th, we move into the government center.
Right.
So the farmers market just seems to never end. So.
And that'll be in the community center, right?
Community center, yes, inside the community center.
Okay,
yes,
perfect.
Absolutely. The outdoor concerts that we've been having in our town green area, they have ended. However, every Friday night at dusk, we still are having movies. So the turnout, for the various events that we have at the concerts in the park and things like that has just been dynamic. So
Yeah, wonderful
great.
venue, and the nice part about it getting into late August is those movies starting earlier. So
Yes.
dusk comes a little earlier, so we don't have to stay up quite as late to
Right.
see the full movie.
Right, you're absolutely right. A couple other things, Central Park, we'll be having a ribbon cutting ceremony on that, September 10th, and that's going to be a very, very nice amenity for that entire area, and even for the entire city. So we're excited about that. I encourage people to go to the city's Facebook page. We now have a Facebook. and
Okay.
Go to the Facebook page. Regarding our transit system, we are testing Wi-Fi on some of the buses, not
Very
all
nice.
the buses yet, but we're testing Wi-Fi on some of them. So if you see a bus that has a blue decal by the boarding door,
Okay.
that's a Wi-Fi bus. So as we were talking earlier, people won't be reading their newspaper, they'll be reading the news on their phone.
So is this in response to discussion from clients or customers that use the service? They said, hey, this would be nice, and the city took a look at it?
That's part of it, and then also Metro Transit, they get a lot of inquiries as
Sure.
well. And see, our system was an opt-out system, but the buses are owned by Metro Transit, and so they get a lot of inquiries as well, and so
Sure.
they pass those down to the opt-out users.
Right.
So.
Okay.
So that'll be nice for those that are interested in Wi-Fi. The Citizens Police Academy, it begins on September 29th, and that will be for 11 weeks. And so those that are interested, you could go to the police department section of the city's website.
Right.
You can go to just the website general, should be listed there as one of the
Okay.
links for the Citizens Police Academy. So that's always well attended.
And why attend, and who can attend? And what's
Anybody.
the cost? I think I know the cost might be free. So it's
That's close.
It's a pretty good deal.
It's very close.
All right,
yes.
what is the cost?
It's a very good deal. Yes, yes, it is free, and the purpose is to get people to have a better understanding of their police department and a whole wide range of other things, and so it's always well attended each year. And I think even if we charged, it would still be well attended. But we're not going to charge.
Good.
No, we're
And
leave
this
it as
is
free.
for adults, or is it 18 and over?
18 and over,
Okay.
yes. And so it's a good opportunity for those that just want to get a better understanding of the city, of public safety in general.
Sure.
And then also, they get to tour a variety of things, and so it's a neat program. So.
All right, and again, if people are interested, go to the city's website under Police Department. You can find more information there. Or if you're at the Government Center, just walk on over to the Police Department and they'll be able to help you out.
You bet, yep. Couple other things, the fall park and recreation brochure is now out.
Okay.
So we're
Another sign of fall coming.
Yeah, another sign of fall, that's for sure. We did, you mentioned we had 2 council meetings last night, which we did. The first one was just a council work session at 6:30, and the purpose of that was to review the proposed 2016 budget with the city council. They don't, the formal action on the budget will be December 7th. That's when the formal public hearing is held. But purpose of the special meeting is just to give them an update as to what staff has pulled together for 2016 budget. As I told the city council, I'm extremely pleased with all of our department directors and their due diligence. 6 of the departments had a decrease in their budgets. Those that had an increase, for example, my department increased, tied into elections.
Okay.
So if it wasn't for elections, my budget probably would have gone down.
So this is something that happens every 4 years.
Every 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
Right.
So all depends. But every 4 years for our local officials. And then this year in 2016, it's going to be a big election. So because you got the presidential election. So, but most departments went down in their budgets. Those that did go up again, mine was tied to elections. My IS department, we're a member of LOGIS, which is a consortium of cities. They had some increased expenses, and they passed those down to the members.
Sure.
You have some cases in public works, also with public safety, police and fire, where equipment is needed, things like that. But it's a budget that I think is very, very responsible. I think it's going to add maybe about $2 a month to the average taxpayer bill. And so the overall budget is going to be approximately $37 million. It only includes 2 new staff people. One is a park keeper, and because of the Central Park opening, that is going to be a large project there. We need staffing for that. And then the other is a police officer, a liaison in the school system.
Okay.
Now the nice thing about that is the school district picks up 2/3, roughly 2/3 of that individual's salary. We had 2 other employment suggestions that we ran past the council. One was an assistant city planner, and one was to have an individual in our fire inspections department. Council was kind of lukewarm. And so we didn't really pursue that.
Okay.
So. But the budget that they probably will bring forth on December 7th is the one that will include a park keeper and a police officer liaison.
Okay.
And so, and that, the police officer liaison is really, really vital to have an officer in our schools. And again, as I mentioned, 2/3 of that salary, and that's total salary, including benefits, is coming from the school district.
Right.
So.
And there has not been a liaison officer, or it's been handled differently in the past?
There has been. We have had liaison officers.
Okay.
Sometimes we rotate it, but there has been in the past. This is an additional liaison officer. And I think an officer's presence in school is needed, unfortunately. It's needed today.
So you mentioned overall for residents of Maple Grove, it looks like about $2 per month will be the addition. How does that trend over the past, say, 2 years, 5 years, as far as what change people have seen in the city portion of their taxes?
In the excuse me, in the last 5 years, it's down from the 5-year average. It's less than the 5-year average. And so we try to take a look at the consumer price index. We try to take a look at the population of the city, a whole wide range of things. Our city is fortunate. We have established over the years replacement funds to replace equipment and a variety of things, so that we're not always having to go out bonding for different stuff.
Right.
And so that works out very well for us. And so I think $2 a month is an attractive budget. When you consider that our population keeps increasing, along with that, development keeps happening, roads, more roads keep being built, maintained. So overall, I'm very pleased with the department directors, and the finance department has done a very good job of pulling everything together. So.
Wonderful. So if there's people out there that love to read documents like this, is this something they can come to the government center and take a look at the proposed budget for this year, or is it online as well?
I'm not certain if it's online yet. It will be.
Okay.
But yes, come to the government center, and we can inundate you with all kinds of paperwork.
Bring your calculator, right?
If you're having trouble sleeping at night, here we go. We can solve that. So.
Perfect. And so the next time it comes before the council then is in December?
December 7th. Okay. That will be the formal public hearing.
Very good.
We had a couple other items that I brought to the council as discussion items, and then we did carry it forward to the regular meeting that night, and that's solar development. we are going to be entering into an agreement with EMS, who then enters in agreement with XL Energy and 2 solar developers where we will buy solar credits. This has the capability of saving the city anywhere from roughly 3.8 to 6.8 million over the next 20 to 25 years. We'll buy the credits at a certain level. Now, if energy costs go up, which historically they've been going up just under 3% a year for many years, if energy costs go up, we're still at that same level of buying credits. If they go down, yeah, then there's going to be a slight risk. But we took a look at the entire history of energy consumption, and it keeps going up every year. This, our city is very, very conscious about energy conservation, and so I think this is a great opportunity for the city to enter into an agreement with EMS and then XL and 2 solar developers. We're buying the credits, but that doesn't mean that there's a solar operation in Maple Grove.
That was going to be my next question.
No.
So this doesn't mean you're getting into the business of putting up solar panels.
No, we're not. No, we're merely buying the credits from solar development companies, and I think it's going to be great. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for this city to save a lot of money on our energy bill.
Is this something that other cities are doing at the current time, or even other private businesses are doing at the present time?
Correct. I think there's, I'm not certain about the exact number of cities, but I know there are some other cities. There is a deadline. The legislature established a criteria for the energy companies, XL Energy, that they have to generate, I think it's 25% of their power from solar. And so they've laid out a plan, and there is a deadline that's coming up. So this isn't something that someone can sit and say, well, I'll think about it 6 months from now or a year from now. There is a window of opportunity. And so we decided to grab that window of opportunity.
Okay, very good.
We take very, very special interest in energy conservation, and our government center with this geothermal heating, cooling system is a prime example of energy conservation. So
very true. All right, something that we can check back on, see how it's going in 6 months a year.
Right, and then I did update the council on 2 planning commission applications, and we did move that forward to the regular council meeting. So work sessions, special council meetings, whatever you want to call it, formal process does not happen. It's a discussion time where we try to get direction from the council on a variety of things, and in some cases those items can move forward then into a regular council meeting for formal action. So, and so they come in very handy. We do not have those that often, although having said that, we have had a number of them because we've had planning commission interviews. We've had city council interviews, and so upcoming we're going to have building department director interviews, city administrator interviews. So I'm saying we don't have special meetings very often. But this is an exception. So
little extra work for the council.
Yes, for sure. Yes. So the regular council meeting, we did appoint Dave Hutchins and Lori Klein to the Planning Commission. Nice additions to the Planning Commission. Both of them have Planning Commission experience in other cities.
Wonderful.
One is Shorewood and one is Shoreview. And so the council felt that when we were interviewing that night, we were thinking of just picking one. We have a capability of a 7-member Planning Commission. Right now it's 4 because John McLaughlin retired and moved to Florida. And so the council originally thought, well, we just pick one, so we back to 5. But of the 4, and 4 finalists were very good candidates, but of the 4, 2 of them really stood out. And the councils thought to themselves that, boy, we better grab them both while we can.
Sure.
It means we have a 6-member planning commission, which you always are uneasy about having even numbers.
A few tie votes may come.
In case there's a tie. But the council just felt that it's a good opportunity to grab both of these individuals because of their previous planning commission experience. And so They will be sworn in at the August 31st Planning Commission meeting.
Very good.
So, yeah. And then we did enter into, as I mentioned, a agreement with EMS for Excel and 2 solar developers for the acquisition of credits through the solar program. And the state is, the legislature has been very, very strong about solar development. And so I think it's been a good opportunity for us. So. But again, we're not building our own solar field.
Right.
So. Just a couple of other things that took place at the regular meeting. I want to congratulate Chad Rowland. We have promoted Chad to heavy equipment operator in our Public Works Department, and so very pleased to do that. The regular City Council meeting was fairly long, with an interesting ending. It had to do with the village at Arbor Lakes.
Right.
This is a proposal that the Dorn Companies has put forth on land that's at the northeast corner of Hemlock and Elm Creek Boulevard. It's the site where Opus also was looking at one time.
Right.
They've come in with a proposal for developing that roughly 40-acre site, 700 luxury apartment units at the north end as to what they call a gated community. Then on the south end, it'd be a combination of at least 1 hotel, very possibly 2 hotels, a drugstore, a small grocery store, a number of other buildings, 2 restaurants. And so the council did discuss that proposal at length. One of the question marks was the number of multi-family units at the north end of the site. The proposal is for 700. Our gravel mining area plan allows just less than 600. Now, the council does have the ability to do some adjusting if they wish to do that. So one of the concerns was the number of housing units. Excuse me. Then one of the other concerns was just some of the development that takes place on the south end. The biggest real discussion item was traffic and traffic control. The developer, when the developer originally came in, they requested a right-in, right-out. So if you're on Hemlock, you can turn right, or you can come out and turn right from their development. And we were fairly comfortable with the right-in, right-out. We thought that we could live with that.
Okay.
Then the developer came back and wanted a full movement. That poses some issues because that whole area is very heavy traffic. And if you're on Elm Creek Boulevard and you're going to take a right at the signal light and go up Hemlock, and you want to get over to the medical building or even get over to get up to Arbor Lakes Parkway and turn left, it's tough. It is very, very difficult. And so there's a tremendous amount of traffic in that area. So we had mentioned to the developer quite some time back the need for a traffic study. Opus, when they were looking at that site, they did give us a traffic study. We requested a traffic study from this developer, and so quite a bit of discussion at the meeting took place with full implementation or full movement versus right in, right out. Some of the internal roads, there was some discussion about that. Are they private roads? Are they public roads?
Right.
So after lengthy discussion, the council, by a 3-2 vote, moved to table the proposal for a traffic study. And it'd be, the city would select the consultant. The traffic study itself would be paid for by the developer, but we would select the consultant. And then part of the motion was it's tabled for a traffic study that would then be reviewed by our engineers and then a report given to the city council.
Okay.
So what we were asking for was nothing out of the ordinary. It's what we've asked from any developer when they're proposing a major development, and especially in this case when you're looking at an area that's a tremendous amount of traffic.
Right.
We just want to have a comfort level with the traffic flow. So it was a 3-2 vote to table, pending securing a traffic study. For whatever reason, the developer, and that passed 3-2. For whatever reason, the developer then came to the podium and said he was withdrawing his application.
Okay.
We were quite surprised by that, because it was not a denial, it was just a tabling for a traffic study. And so we're not certain what the next step is for the developer, but any developer that wants to do something on that site is going to have to do a traffic study. So the health and safety of our residents, as well as non-residents, is absolutely paramount. So one of my planners did say he thought he heard the developer say at the end that I'll make revisions and I'll be back. So the developer does own the land. So my assumption is that he may make some slight revisions. Maybe he'll go back to a right-in, right-out only. And we can live with that. I think the council, while they were concerned about the high density and the number of 700 units, I think that overall, I think they would eventually be comfortable with that. For the most part, I think they're comfortable with essentially the layout of the southern part, with the restaurants and the hotels and things like that.
Right.
There's a very nice very nice spine that comes on the south end, a nice spine that comes up to the middle with a circular kind of a roundabout almost like, and then a hotel proposed on each side of that spine. And so that's a very nice feature. And then the layout of the restaurants, the layout of the parking lots. So overall, my sense is that basically I think the council can live with the proposal, with the exception of we do have to have a traffic study. Bottom line.
If the developer changes the proposal to that right-in, right-out, is a traffic study still needed, regardless of what happens there?
We would still ask for a traffic study, but it would certainly be far less impact on traffic if you've got a right-in, right-out. It's a much smoother movement, but yeah, in all likelihood, we would still ask for a traffic study. And we did bring a traffic study up to the developer's attention early on in the process, and we were hoping that maybe somewhere during that process he would get a traffic study, so we'd have it at the meeting.
I was going to ask, in most cases and developments, at this point of a discussion, is the traffic study in most cases already done?
Yes.
And something before the city? Okay.
Yes, you try to have things like that completed. See, when we're doing a project like this in Maple Grove, it's a two-stage. It's a concept plan and a development stage plan. But you try to have like a traffic study. You really want to have that at the beginning of the concept plan and not wait until the development stage plan. So, but it was nothing out of the ordinary, except we were quite surprised when he asked that he was going to say that he was going to remove his application. And again, it was just a tabling to get a traffic study. So we'll see.
Time will tell.
Well, the developer owns the land, and so I'm certain that we'll see a revised plan come in. So
very good.
So it was meeting went till almost 9 o'clock. So,
all right, you had a late night for a Maple Grove City Council meeting.
Yes, for us. So, but it went well, sure.
Very good. All right, Al, thank you very much for the information.
Thanks,
Let's
Dave.
leave you with some contact information if you want to jot down the next meeting. It is going to be on Tuesday, September 8th, and yes, it is a Tuesday because of the holiday. 7:30 p.m. at the Government Center. You see the phone number at the bottom of the screen and up at the top. The website, lots of information that we passed along today can be found right on the city's website. And if you have questions or comments about the program, 533-1710, our viewer response line, you can shoot a question in on that line and we'll try to answer it here on the program. For Al Madsen, I'm Dave Kaiser. Thanks for joining us on the Maple Grove City Report.